Hiya.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful.
That's good. How was your weekend? What have you been up to?
Oh, lots and lots and lots. What have we been up to? We bought a new gazebo and it took us all weekend to put it up.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
Did you sit in it yesterday when it rained and have a cup of tea?
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, we got a metal one this time because our old fabric one decided to sort of crash. So,
That's nice. That sounds amazing in the rain. When I
oh,
lived on Lake Simcoe, we had a lean-to out built in the yard for all the firewood, and it was
uh-huh.
like 40 feet away from the master bedroom. And so anytime it rained, so we put the roof as a tin roof intentionally, I would lay in bed with the window wide open just to listen. Right, Heidi knows rain
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, love it.
I love it too. Yeah. Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hello, I made it on live.
Yay.
Finally.
That's it. Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Look,
Hi, Caroline.
Caroline. How are you?
I'm back.
You have
Yay.
your hat
I
on.
love it.
Oh, you guys look beautiful in your garden. You're gonna love the sound of my birds in the background too.
Mhm. Oh, yes.
So nice. So how is everyone? Caroline, I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. How are you?
No, I'm fantastic. Thank you. I've been busy working on things, so much going on, so lots of promotions.
Wow.
But I haven't forgot about you guys every day.
Amazing. No, you still post quite frequently, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I check out what you guys are doing. You know, I kept my eyes on you guys.
Always do, which is fantastic. Hey, Catherine.
I saw her come on.
She's on.
Yep, she's
There
on.
she is. Hi, Catherine.
I don't think we can hear her yet.
Yeah, it takes a minute to hook up video.
Liz, how is your daughter doing?
She was at the surgeon this morning and they left about 10 minutes ago to move back into their own house.
Yeah.
She's still not supposed to lift over 20 pounds. And there's a possibility that she might have a bit of a hunch unless she really works on straightening her spine.
Wow.
But she's good. So
Excellent.
they've moved home.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing news.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna crumple into a heap after our PPA leader call tonight.
Oh my gosh. Your house must seem so quiet without everyone.
Well, they just literally left 5 minutes ago,
Oh,
so I
my
haven't
Lord.
even had a chance to process because I just jumped right on the call.
It's still vibrating.
Yeah.
Gosh, wow. I can't believe that they've gone home. Were the kids upset though to leave?
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet.
I bet.
Yeah, they were.
I bet. Oh my gosh.
Grandma, not so much. Grandma was ready. Get out.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the great thing about grandkids, they say. Is like you can love them, but then send them home.
Yes. I'm quite relieved Emily's taken Saoirse out, so I've got peace and quiet. We've had her 3 days
Wow.
and 2 nights.
You babysit 3 days, your granddaughter?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness Emily's quite good with them. Being in ECE and 4 years old, you know, Saoirse being 4, it's quite good, especially now she's on holiday, but they've gone out clothes shopping for school.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's fantastic. Hey,
I
Angie,
always love that.
Mhm.
how are you?
Busy.
Oh my gosh, did you lose your voice?
No.
Oh, you said that. You almost sounded like husky.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. It's just been one of those days and it's 7 o'clock here. So it's I've got my stepson over, so it's making dinners, making sure everyone's eating, and it's like, see ya.
Nice.
So it's just
I
one of those
always
days.
forget just, you know, the difference when, so we had a Zoom, we had a PIP info night last week, and Karen came on, and she of course is from the UK, and she was like, you know, it's like 10 o'clock or 10:30 at night here, you know, and
Yeah.
stayed on for the entire thing. And she was like, I have to tell you, like, I am so grateful, even though it's like after 11 o'clock now. She's like, I am so glad that I stayed on. She's like, I didn't know, you know, that amount of information. So Michelle's going to kind of talk to you guys a little bit first. Then I'm going to take you through more. I mean, of course, everyone on here except for Angie right now is well versed in what the PIPs are, but you need to understand how to market them and how you actually, you know, instead of just going, the PIPs were amazing, they changed my life. It's like, you know, there are all these like online workshops. It's like, how do you actually talk to someone so that they are interested in purchasing these workshops? Because of course, this needs to be the thing that we're all on board with. We also wanted to talk to you guys about Shine. Shine is up, that retreat. People are able to put their deposits down now. So it's like, what is Shine? If you're actually going to be promoting it, that is a very high commission for anyone. You know, there is almost $1,000 commission for one seat to Shine. So you have to make sure that you understand what it is to actually promote it and talk to your network and talk to people about what these things are. So what we'll do then is, because we've got a whole bunch of other things that are going to start to get added on now, other products that you guys can talk about. I have to tell you, which I haven't told you this though, but ever since we got off the call with people from the PIP info night, and then people that couldn't be on that PIP info night, I've had more people asking me about a leadership program. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Here we have these workshops, and everybody's like, yes, but what about, like, didn't you have a leadership program? Can't I be a part of a leadership program? You know, like, that's something that and I was just like, something's coming, but it's not the same thing. So just get ready. So these things are like, it's already done. It's just a matter of building a web page. So we're going to start, of course, with the PIPs, and then we'll go into Shine, but I'm going to have Michelle talk first. Yay!
Yay!
So, my points this week are kind of very, very brief, but I think it's just important to talk a little bit strategically on the way that we see this rolling up over the course of the next several months, that truly, when it comes to sales behavior, people hate being sold to. You know, like, I think all of us feel exactly that way, but we all love to buy. We love to make smart purchasing decisions. And so with the ambassador program, the predominant reason people become an ambassador is because they really do love what being positive has the ability to do to people's lives, what being a voice for that part of the conversation has the potential influence to affect. And that's partly why we became, you know, we found the Positive People Army. We've done the things that we have done. And becoming an ambassador for it is because we really truly believe that instituting these things and then demonstrating those, so institute them into our own lives, but also instituting them into, you know, for anybody to be able to institute them into their lives, that they will make a massive difference, right? We've all seen the power of, you know, tiny little perspective shifts and what that has had the ability to do in order to completely change the way that we see things. Right, we've had that experience. The reason that you generally are in this space is because you truly believe in the sometimes unpopularness of what the science behind positive thinking and positive psychology has to do and to deliver for people's lives. And so really it's a long game. And the behavior that we're working towards fostering is not just a, you know, sales post, sales post, sales post, sales post, sales post, sales post. How many of you guys know people that are in network marketing of some kind? And anytime that you have any interaction with them, they turn the interaction into a way to have a sales conversation.
Look at Angie's face. Oh God.
I know, right? Right. And that's exactly the response, right? Like we feel like hiding. And there's a lot of education in this industry that advocates for that, right? There's a lot of education that tells people to constantly be marketing themselves. And while I don't disagree with the importance of that, I do disagree with the fact that marketing ourselves does not mean trying to convert and squeeze every person that we interact with into a sale. I think that we market ourselves based upon the demonstration of the way that we choose to, interact with people, the way that we choose to communicate, the things that we choose to share, the things that we choose to engage with, the way that we conduct ourselves when we're having a tough conversation with someone, whether or not we do fully respect the challenge to embrace being a fantastic human, to really make a difference in that small capacity, because it's such a massive wake that we have the capacity to cause. And so being able to market ourselves properly, I think the smarter strategy, and I know that we've talked about this a little bit, but it's just simply to consistently be more visible with things that make a contribution in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And so it's not saying, it's not talking about, for this ambassador program, the Positive People Army in every post. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It is really just giving yourself license to be an advocate for the things that you believe in, and then every once in a while be able to refer people to, hey, perfect example, Angie posted a video. Angie's video, and so the video that you posted, Angie, that says, this is why I love this lady.
Oh, yeah.
So can you tell us what was the motivation behind posting that video?
Well, every time I watch Heidi, she inspires me. No matter what, if I'm having a shit day, and on this particular day, I was on a real downer. I've just found out I'm being made redundant.
Oh,
and
no.
Things are happening at once. And I've been for a few days like, I can't deal. I need to I can't talk to anyone. I don't want to know. And for some reason, at this time, I was on the live when Heidi was there. And usually I'm working. But it just happened to be that I was there. And it got me right back into what I needed. It gave me the kick up the arse that I needed. It made me feel that she was talking to me and not everybody. It was like she just zoned into me, and I'm like, and this is why I love her, because she knows what people are going through. She's got this, like, it's really weird. It's this weird thing that she's got going on. And might be some alien thing that's jumped into her body. But, this woman, she deserves to be shared. She deserves to have the platform. And I would do the same with anybody else that did that within the group. If they got out there and actually made a noise, I'd be saying, hell yeah, that's one of our PPA ambassadors. And that's what it's about.
Yeah,
it's about getting out there, being a team, and sharing each other. Because
thank you. Yes.
Do you know, I never thought of doing that, sharing your videos. What a stupid aha moment. That's an aha moment.
No stupid.
Yeah,
No
Christine,
stupid.
Let's flip that. Let's look at it and say, because...
But it's so obvious, isn't it?
usually the obvious things we don't see.
Exactly.
So I wanted to bring that up because to use as an example of the perfect way to market something, right? You guys have heard me say it's all about telling the truth, yes?
Yeah.
Sales is about nothing else. It's about telling the truth. And so I look at Angie's post as an absolutely brilliant marketing tool, especially because it is simply the truth.
Mm.
The simplicity of the statement, this is why I love this lady so much. If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize. And then sharing a video that had a deep impact on you. Anybody who watches that video is going to potentially have an emotional response. They're going to be interested in checking out more about Heidi. They're going to be interested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a group. It's called It's Okay to Be You. And I came around because I saw all these young girls that were suffering with self-hate, hating themselves. They've got no self-love, no self-worth. And I thought, you know what, I'm sick of seeing this. So we created the group. There's not loads of interaction. Don't get me wrong. These girls don't come forward. But I've got Heidi in there who shares everything that she does. She's getting the PPA out there to 70 women in the UK who half of them have joined the PPA. They might be quiet, but it's that type of thing. It's like you could have a group of whatever you do. And it might not be to do with what you actually do in this group, but you could be saying, this woman inspires me daily. This is why I love the PPA, because we're about passion, we're about, you know, sharing is caring and building each other up. It's that simple.
It is.
It is, yes. So it's very, so there's a lot of stuff in the PPA, guys, that you can share. You know, I do daily videos. Angie shares her videos in there. There are so many other people. Mark Dunn shares videos in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many other people that share videos. I mean, you just look at the amount that Andrew King posts in the PPA.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
sharing something that Andrew from the PPA, as soon as you hear it out of the PPA, it says it. It says shared from the PPA. And people are like, positive people army, what is that? Do you know how many people just message me and it's like, I was in this other group and somebody shared, or I saw one of your videos because I've shared it in another group. And it's like all of a sudden they're curious and they come in. So
I
now,
put it on my website.
Exactly. It's so much about getting people curious,
Yes.
getting out there, you know, and then the more you're sharing in your own network about something that resonates with you, like when Angie's like, this is why I love this woman, then she has people going, oh my God, I can't get over that, resonated with me too. Now she starts a conversation about this and they're like, oh my God, like I'd love to know more about this group. She starts talking, one conversation leads to another, and they're like, oh, do they ever teach this stuff? Oh, by the way, yes, they do.
Mhm.
See how easy and natural that is.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so some of the keys are to really ingest the fact that strategy is not one of let's go out and let's try and convert everybody. Let's try and get them into these programs, right? There's other ways that sales get taught and people get taught to take control all the time. And I advocate for a complete opposite, and that is to give control, right? Give people the ability to make their own choices, their own decisions. The ways that they have the opportunity to be able to do that is to volunteer the fact that they would like to potentially join the group. They may then spend a few months just sitting there and checking it out. But we aren't a group that is doing this for the purpose of bringing people in order to sell workshops, right? That's not the intent. The intent is that we've had people approach and ask so many times, would you be able to teach some of these? What are some of the best positivity practices that you have? And that is how this got created, right? This was a creation of 20 people coming together in order to develop a program that, from all of the expertise that was contributed, that makes a true difference and has impacted thousands and thousands of lives. And Heidi developed this program and then developed the PIPs as another opportunity because it was a request. So it was the opposite of going out to try to sell people to come into this. And so truly the strategy just needs to be to make sure that we're marketing in every action that we do. That's an advertising statement, right? Every single action that we do, every interaction we have, everything that we do consistently to anybody, that is an advertising statement for our personal brand. It's how we behave in the world. And just to be cognizant of every single thing that we're doing is marketing. And let's work towards marketing the truth. Let's work towards really putting more positive stuff out there. Let's work towards really making a difference. And then once or twice a week, stick out a link that's got an ambassador code. And so if people trip on it because they're curious, then the result and the outcome will be that there will be revenue generated when people make purchasing decisions because they feel as though it's a match for them. And so I just wanted to make that point that we really don't want to take the traditional approach of go market, 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 and squeeze people, squeeze people, squeeze people. Totally not what we're interested in doing. What we're interested in doing is making a really big difference and having the people who help to accomplish that get monetized and paid for their efforts to promote the messaging and to contribute to the conversation so that it's a mutually beneficial arrangement that as people do purchase programs, we really reward the people who helps them get to that place so that they can also receive the benefits of being a part of that program. And that's why this has been designed.
If you look at, did everyone follow the link to look at the suggested marketing strategy? Did everyone look at that? Okay, great. So if you go in and look at that, you will see the suggested marketing strategy just for the ambassadors themselves, just ambassadors. It has a lot of stuff that you are sharing and doing stuff without affiliate links, without banners, without any sales. It's about spreading positivity. So, and remember, this is a suggested thing, but it has to be done consistently for people to know that this is what it is that you're supporting. This is what it is that you're advocating for, because it means something to you. It's not because someone told you to. It's because, you know what? I am a freaking positive person and I'm sharing it. You know, I want to change the world. It's like, that's what we want to do.
I know and love.
Yeah. Yes. So does anyone have any questions so far from what Michelle just talked about?
What I'm doing is next week they do, I don't know if they do, they most probably do it where you live over in Canada, where different areas have like network business days where people will meet up in coffee shops or whatever, and they do like a networking thing. So Karen's on holiday at the moment, and she's on this call.
Karen!
And so hopefully we're going to meet up in about a week or so. And I'm hoping the two of us are going to go to these networking day, and we're going to talk to people about the Positive People Army, and also see other business. Because what it is about just getting people aware.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start putting out the PPA, the Positive People on, and someone's like, I've heard of that. Where, you know, what curiosity. People are curious.
Exactly. 100%. That's amazing. I mean, listen, Angie, if you get some great tips or whatever at your meeting, like please share, you know, we can
for sure.
You know, guest come to the meeting again and share some of the brilliance that you learn. Like, hey, we're all about sharing is caring. Sharing.
Definitely. For sure.
I had a quick question, and I actually posted it on the Facebook page, and somebody answered me, which was very kind, but they didn't actually answer what I was looking for.
Okay.
So my question was, I think in the very first video, or maybe you sent us private messages, that if we wanted to put our story in the stories of the PPA, we could then put our ambassador code in.
Okay, so I got back to you on that. I commented, and I didn't understand what you meant by the story section. Where's the story section?
Well, if you go into Facebook and I go into my own page, there's a heading that says story.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
So what I was trying, and I don't know what's happening with you and Michelle, because I put stuff out and you don't get it, and then you put stuff out and I don't get it. So I
responded right in the Facebook chat.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I responded
on the Facebook.
like, in the Facebook where you commented, and then I think Christine commented, and then I commented. Yeah, and then I commented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't see your comment. I saw her comment. So what I was asking was, do I post the story on my story and then share it into PPA, or in the PPA on the PPA Facebook page? Do you have that header story and I go in there?
Okay, so first off, and I already talked about this last week in the ambassador thing. Affiliate links are not allowed within the PPA. So, a Facebook group doesn't have stories. The only place where you can do actual stories are in your own profile page. Like, I don't even think you can do them on pages. So it's only in your own personal profile. And Facebook stories are very much like Instagram stories.
Yeah.
So they come up and then they disappear. So they're not like your news feed where it just stays there. It it goes up. And so those have to be done continuously for people to see stories.
Okay.
So what you do is, so they're generally videos or it's a picture, and then you can kind of like Google, right? Or like you can put stuff on it. So you can put your affiliate link on that. Yeah, 100% just copy and paste it in. But you want to start doing stories, then you would have to be doing it very regularly for people to see those.
Yeah, and there
The
is
stories last 24 hours.
24 hours. There you go.
yeah,
Okay.
there's one time that you are allowed to post the affiliate link inside the PPA, and this is on your affiliate dashboard. It says it at the very top. It says it on the instruction sheet. It's one of the first instructions, and it's also on the videos. And it's if you go in and you write a testimonial about a personal experience and how you've had a really, an impact in your life that is the truth, and you want to write a advocate statement for being part of the Positive People Army, then you can at the bottom put an affiliate link saying something like, I'm excited to have been part of the Positivity in Practice, and I would really advocate for anyone to be able to have the same type of experience that I have, and you can put the link, and that is permitted to be one of your affiliate links. So that's the only time that is okay to do it. It's when you do a testimonial inside of the PPA. And then just one secondary thing, it's never appropriate to put an affiliate link in the comments of anybody else's post.
I think I've done that.
That's okay. We're all new.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who did it. We're all new at this.
Yeah, so just
all new.
learning it now, because it's really appropriate to comment, but to allow whoever made the post be the beneficiary of all of that action. To go in and stick an affiliate link is kind of it would be interpreted as rude once we know, right? So up until now, no issues, but just as a general practice, it's really, really respectful to champion each other's posts and only use the affiliate link like we talked about. It's not constantly trying to slap it everywhere to, push and generate and squeeze sales. There has to be a massive volume of conversation happening about the Positive People Army for people to start to check out the website in the numbers that will translate into revenue, and it's a long game.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, the PPA is open ground for you guys to build relationships. Yeah. Like that is open ground.
Absolutely.
You got almost 18,000 people. Like everyone in that group, they comment, they share, listen guys, you just go to my videos on a daily basis and go to the comment section about people sharing what they're going through. You guys go to it. It'd be like, Christine, someone comments about like, oh my gosh, this has shown up in my life. This is what I'm dealing with, blah, blah, blah. And Christina's like, oh my God, I totally understand what Sarah's going through. Then comment to Sarah. I'm not the only one that has to comment to them. You comment to Sarah. Sarah, oh my God, I get you, girl. Like, I have to tell you, like, I'm going through this. Like, I watched Heidi's video. I felt the same way. This is what I got out of it. Like, listen, if you're ever up to chat about positivity or like, share, swap stories, like, I've got your back. And you guys just automatically start relationships. I mean, my gosh, I don't want to pick on you, Angie, but it's just like, you do that all the time with people in the PPA. You have made more relationships that sometimes you're up there like me. Like Angie has become a celebrity within the PPA because of the amount that she posts, the amount that she's commenting. Caroline is another human being that under my videos, she not only leaves her own comments, she comments on other people's stuff. She has full-on conversations with people. She is making relationships that then she takes them off sidebar. So
I think it's
promoting all your sorry, yes? What was that, honey?
I think it's great to engage that way, because if it's something I'm interested in, want to comment, then more people comment under me. So we have a little back and forth going on is what we need. So yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's natural. It's natural. I think
real and honest, which is exactly what Michelle was referring to. So all of your marketing and stuff is taking place in your own networks. But guys, within the PPA, you start building your own networks, because then those people, you'd be like, oh, like, listen, so you private message them, like, listen, I'd love to chat with you more. I feel we have a lot in common. I'm going to friend you if you're okay with that. And then they friend you, and all of a sudden your network is building. So not only do you have these relationships in the PPA, you're now privately making these relationships as well. So it's always thinking in that way. So I want you to be very aware that we're like, don't share your affiliate links, but we never, ever said, do not engage in the PPA.
Thing is, you've got to, right, as soon as people start thinking about network marketing, everyone goes gaga. They freeze, they can't think, they just lose all sense of, it just goes. It really does. And I've seen it across every single point of network marketing that I've been involved in or know about. What people forget is the basics. It's about making friends.
Yeah,
it's about making relationships, natural relationships. I'm not going to friend somebody and start up a conversation with somebody if they like to go, I don't know, bungee jumping off a massive thing. I'm petrified of heights. That's not going to interest me. Do you know what I mean? You have to be, I love cats. I have a Maine Coon cross Persian. I belong to a cats group.
I had a Maine Coon when I grew up. His name was Whiskers. He was my brother.
But you know what I mean? It's like, I connect to these people. I've then gone into their post and I go, oh God, your cat's so cute, and or whatever, anything. And you start building normal relationships. It's like when you're a kid in school. It's about going up to someone saying, hey, I'm Angie. I like blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, hey, I like that as well. And you build. But if you don't like the same things, it's not going to be natural. So this is where the relationship, you need to know your target market. You need to know what you like.
Yeah.
And if they like that, because then you're going to gel naturally.
Exactly. 100%. Yes. So definitely have fun with that and just start engaging and having those great conversations. I mean, for me, that is my everyday. I mean, I have conversations with the PPA continuously and offline when private messaging as well. It's like I constantly do. Even Angie's group, some of the girls from her group, I've had private messages with. You know, it's like other groups. Are you kidding? Like the amount of other groups that my stuff goes into. I talk with people from other groups all the time, and then they chat with me. Then they become a part of the PPA. They become my friend. You know, it's like it's just this constant thing. Except I constantly have to keep getting rid of friends because you're only allowed 5,000 friends at a time. I'm literally one of those people where it's like you no longer can have any more friends. And I'm like,
okay, what you need to do, you need to make sure your follow button is on your Facebook, right? You don't want to max out your friends if you're not engaging with all of those friends.
Yes. So I have a strict policy. My policy is if one of my friends leaves the PPA, they no longer want to be a part of the PPA, I actually take them out of my friends. So they are no longer a part of my goal, my only thing that is existing in my life is the Positive People Army. And so my friend circle, if you do not support something that is that important to me, listen, I got to let you go because I got to let other people in to be a part of the PPA.
Yeah.
So
I think exactly.
I've had a number of people that have gotten very upset at me that have said, you know, you unfriended me. It's like, yes, I did. Well, you took yourself out of the PPA because I can see that. And they're like, oh, well, you know, it's just too positive. Like, it's just too much. And I'm like, apparently I must be.
I'm so sick of hearing that, honestly.
But something that is that important to me, then I just have to unfriend you. Listen, if you're a real friend, invite me for coffee then. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It comes down to everyone that's on this call. So I've got my guys within my company to start going through their friends list. Go 20 at a time or whatever, and you check on that friend on their thing. Have they responded to any of your messages? Are they still active? Do they take time to actually talk to you? If they don't, you need to cull them because they are doing your Facebook algorithm bad news. It just pushes you right down. So I'm having to be really strict. I'm having to get rid of quite a lot of people because they're not serving me. They're not interested in either the PPA or with my company. They're not my like close friends. They're not interested. You know,
Listen, guys, it's social media. It is. This is social media. And I love that Angie brought up the algorithms. Because Facebook has changed so much, we have to be very aware of the algorithms that are existing. And algorithms, will go back to where the sales call number 1. Algorithms are going to exist when it's not just liking, but it's commenting, it's conversations that are happening, and in your private message as well.
Yes.
If you are not having conversations in your private message, your algorithm goes down. So you are not up at the top now where people are going to see. So this is why we are like, guys, so the posting has to be consistent. If you post one thing once a day or once a week, believe me, guys, probably half of your network, probably 3/4 of your network hasn't seen it because your algorithm is so low. So it doesn't pop up and it's disappeared. It's gone. No one's clicking on it. No one's going to be looking at it because no one sees it. So we have to be very conscious. I'm so sorry, Christine, your hand has been up for so long. Please go ahead.
I just don't want to forget. Angie, what's the follow button on Facebook?
Right. So on Facebook, you can have friends. In your settings, in your back bit, what I'll do is I'll do a video of how to do it, and I'll put it into the group for everyone.
Yeah.
Because basically, it's in your settings. You need to make sure that your follow button is there. So what happens is people don't have to friend you. They could be a network marketer, for instance. You don't have to be friends like that. They can follow you, and you can still interact. They can still see your feed that is happening, and they can contact you or whatever else.
If they don't take up your number of friends.
Exactly, because Facebook
only allows 5,000 friends.
And plus, if, say for instance, now you go and fill up all your friends with 5,000 people, Facebook aren't stupid. They're going to look at your profile. They're going to look behind the scenes and say, well, she's never had that many friends. She's a network marketer. You know what I mean? And they cull you straight off. I've had 4 people that I know of recently just from posting in different things with their links. They've been barred for like 3 weeks.
Oh, yes, guys.
Wow.
Facebook jail.
So
yes.
It's huge.
Facebook jail is very real, guys. I get put in jail all the time.
Yeah, it's massive.
Facebook jail, if you're sharing anything. So say Caroline decides to share, from her profile into a group. She's going to share it into, positive vibes group, some other group, So she's going to share, and she has her affiliate link in the portion, the post. You can get put in Facebook jail by doing that, Here is the tip, guys. If you are going to post something on your Facebook profile and you want to share it into multiple different groups, you can share a number of times. Listen, Facebook sometimes will just put you in Facebook jail for that. I get that all the time. But what you want to do is not put your affiliate link in the post itself. You want to in the comments, hey guys, if you're interested in checking out the workshops, here's a link to check it out. If you put the link in the comments, Facebook, the algorithm doesn't pick that up, because what it's doing is it's constantly watching for network marketers who are sharing link, because Facebook does not permit anyone to leave Facebook. So they don't want you sharing these links to all other groups, because the moment someone clicks on that link, they're leaving Facebook. So that's what they're trying to stop,
And they don't like hashtags either. They hate hashtags.
I can do a video on that to show you what it is that I'm demonstrating, to show you how to do it. I'll put it on my Facebook profile. I will then share it into the PPA so you can see what I'm talking about. Not to put it in your post, put it in
the comments.
You can share it in. Okay.
And also
sharing to other groups. Yes.
And also take it up. If say you wanted to share it into 5 different groups. So like for instance, Heidi shares into multiple groups, so do I. I will take like 10, 15-minute breaks in between each one.
Yes.
Because then that way, Facebook's thinking, okay, she's actually genuinely doing something. If you start doing, right, I'm going to do it into 5 different groups or 5 different this, straight away, they're going to find it. Because in the UK, at the moment, that is all we're seeing is Facebook about Facebook is changing and we don't want this anymore, and this is about blah blah blah, and even music in your background. If you do a live, they can bar you, they can close you down, you can delete your Facebook. Do not have any music in your background that has been licensed.
Right.
Bar you from it. Don't have any type of, don't give them anything. Basically, do it. Just, you know.
What I'll do is I'll do a video about that, and then I'll do the do's and don'ts with Facebook and sharing, and how it is easy to do things like this and how to get around it. Because
That'd be great.
not someone sitting there going, aha, Heidi shared. It's an algorithm. So computers pick it up, and then what happens is they put you in Facebook jail, and you can be put in Facebook jail for a few hours, for a few days, for a week. I know of some people that have been put in Facebook jail for a month, and all that means is you can no longer comment or post in any other groups that you are not an administrator of. So all that does when I get put in Facebook jail is I just can't, like if someone comments on something of mine in another group, I can't comment back because I'm in jail. I can't go in another group. So believe me, guys, I'm very used to Facebook jail. It happens a lot. I have learned so many ways around, and the thing is Facebook jail. Facebook keeps changing, so you always have to keep up with the new rules. So, okay, guys, so let's talk about now the positivity in practice. So right now, the number one thing that we are promoting, of course, for the entire month of August and of course into September, we have to keep it going, is the Positivity in Practice workshops. We have our leaders. Catherine is one of them. She's on right here. So we have our leaders. They have workshops that people can sign up for. So what are they? What are the Positivity in Practice? So Positivity in Practice is for someone that is interested in self-development. This is someone that has never done any form of self-development. This is someone that has done some self-development in their life. It is that great product that is a reminder to kind of, get them back on track if, they've forgotten some of their practices. Maybe they've had moments in their life where they've just gone through something that's very traumatic, or they've had setbacks, whatever it is. It is literally that retrain or train on how to implement self-development practices into your life. So most of the time what happens, and this is a great conversation to have with people, there are a lot of people in life that they understand things like having gratitude in their life. They understand that they do use excuses. They understand that resiliency needs to exist. But do they have the tools, the tangible tools to make that happen in their life? The focus of all Positivity in Practice workshops is not only to educate them into what that self-development is, but it is also to gift them the tools to implement it into their life. It is a 12-week program. So it's not just one-off workshops. It is signing on for 12 weeks with a leader and many other people that are in the workshops for an online interactive experience. So everyone comes from the comfort of their home online into what's called a Zoom room. So of course you guys know what that is. That's this room here. They come online to a Zoom room once a week for 90 minutes. They not only are able in that 90 minutes to be educated in one positive theme a week, but they walk away with the tools to implement it into their life, not only that week, but for the rest of their life. The great thing about the Positivity in Practice is the fact that all 12, even though they are individual themed practices, they are all linked. The very first workshop that happens is the number one tool that will take them through the entire 12-week process. So number one workshop is journaling, because oh my God, how many people say, oh yeah, journaling doesn't work for me. Oh, I've never tried that. Oh, I don't like to write. But what it generally comes down to is most people don't know how to journal. They also don't know that journaling is done in many different forms. It's not just one journaling where you sit down and just throw up every single emotion. There are gratitude journals, affirmation journals. There's just regular journaling. There is emotional journaling. What are the questions that you ask yourself? What are the tools that you implement to actually make journaling a practice that you do on a regular basis? So, I mean, the fact that even just the 5-minute journal that we teach, where you do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, really, if you can't take 10 minutes out of your day to put yourself first, then I don't know what to say. So journaling is number one, because that's the number one tool that'll take you all the way through. Okay. The second workshop that they sign on for is probably one of those workshops that hits home the hardest for everyone in the beginning. It is the excuses workshop, because everybody has excuses. Every single human being has excuses. So not only learn why excuses exist in our life, you learn the psychology of all of these excuses that we use on a regular basis. Like, you just say to someone, do you ever use the excuse, yeah, I just don't have time for that? Any human being you talk to will have said that at some point in their life. Or maybe they say it on a regular basis. You learn the psychology as to why you're saying it. And believe me, you will never say it again. So it's learning all of that, but then it's all of the tools, how to rid your life of excuses and how to actually start getting rid of them so they don't show up anymore. It's probably one of the biggest ones where you have the biggest awareness that shows up in your life, because all of a sudden you will have learned all of those excuses and why they exist, and every time you say them you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it. There it is. So that's number two. Okay. Number three is resiliency. The majority of the time, most people think resiliency means just getting knocked down and getting back up, where in fact resiliency means so much more than that. And how imperative this workshop shows you how you have to. Michael, can you let the dogs in? They're crying their eyes out. Sorry guys, my dogs are like lunatics at the back door. Thank you so much. But with resiliency, it's how to continually charge your battery, because there is one example that I use in this particular workshop, which is if you've got to make a 30-minute phone call and you only have a 10-minute battery, you can't do it. The thing is how many of us function in life having to make 30-minute phone calls with a 10-minute battery? And that's why you see all of these people that blow up the moment stress comes into their life. And it's because they don't, on a regular basis, build the resiliency to do that. So all of the tools are in there, how to continually build your resilience. So number 4, wow, this one's a big one, because these ladies that have taken it, dealing with toxic people. We go through every toxic person that exists in this world, why they exist, why we let them be in our lives, and how to actually remove them if you have to, or give distance to not have them take over your life anymore. So toxic people is massive. Toxic people is one of the workshops that constantly comes up in every other workshop. It's like, oh, there's that toxic person. Toxic people is pretty mind-blowing. We then go success mindset. We talk all about how to have that successful mindset, because so many of us in so many ways beat ourselves up on a daily basis. So it's constantly, now that you have all the resiliency, now that you've gotten rid of your excuses, now that you're like removing toxic people from your world, it's time to now build the success that you need in your life. Then we go into gratitude. Now you're like, oh, my life is so beautiful. I need more gratitude to bring joy and abundance into my world. Gratitude is one of these workshops that, like, I know for Liz, that was a massive workshop, and she has taken so much self-development, and she's like, I know about gratitude. I know what gratitude was, but it was such a reminder to make sure to bring those practices into your life on a regular basis. Okay. You remember the exercise that I did the other day, Angie, is a part of the gratitude workshop. Yeah, that's in there. That practice that I did.
I was crying.
Yes, there was a lot of people crying in that live.
Oh my word.
The entire thing is just like, I'm crying, I can't do this. And I'm like, everybody hang on with me.
It was so emotional.
It was so emotional. I've had more people reach out to me about that. They were just like, what did you do to me?
It was crazy.
Okay. Number 7 is perspective, because perspective, guys, is not just about putting yourself in someone else's shoes. There is so much more about perspective. Perspective is what is showing up in your life and the perspective you show up to every single situation. Every time we show up in any experience that exists, we show up with a narrowed perspective because of what's happened from our past, because of how it's reminding us, because of what's happened to us, because what we've dealt with, what we're going through at the moment shows up with us, and that's a narrowed perspective. So it's about how does it exist in your own life and how to get better at stepping back and giving a broader perspective to things. Okay. Next is expectations. This one's a hard one. The next couple ones after this are hard. Expectations are very hard, because when you just think about the expectations that were put on you from your parents, from your colleagues, from everyone else, and what expectations are you putting on other people? So it's how to deal with that and how to handle what you're doing with your expectations. Boundaries is number 9. Boundaries is really hard. A lot of people have a difficult time with boundaries. The leaders that I'm going through right now, one of the young ladies had a really difficult time with boundaries, and I've had multiple conversations since doing that workshop with her to just help her with the boundaries, that all of a sudden she had so much awareness from going through it that she didn't realize the unhealthy boundaries that were existing in her life. So it's understanding what is healthy and what is unhealthy and how to actually use them. Okay. Goal setting is super fun. It's actually one of my favorite workshops in the series is goal setting. I love everything about goal setting because it really gives such an awareness to people about how to set goals, but not to be so rigid within it, but to let the change and the flow happen within it. So it's a really fun one. Number 11, Liz is a part of the leaders right now. She's going to go through this particular workshop tonight. It is one of the hardest. It's forgiveness. And forgiveness can be very hard. It's not about just forgiveness of other people. It's about forgiveness of yourself and how to actually deal with forgiveness. As human beings, it's the hardest emotion that we go through, the most difficult emotion for us to do, especially when we've been hurt. As soon as we've been hurt, it's very hard for us to have forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't about letting go of what happened or forgetting what happened. That doesn't erase any of that. Forgiveness just lets us move on from what has happened. And so like forgiveness is a big one. And then of course the very last workshop. So why you have gone through the 12 mind-blowing workshops that have shifted your entire life is for one goal and one goal only. And that is the very last workshop. It's because you have decided to live an authentic life. Number 12 is authenticity. Every single workshop that you have just gone through prepares you to truly live an authentic life now. Now you can step into it. This whole thing where people are like, well, I'm living an authentic life. But are you? Because have you gone through all of those steps to have all of that awareness to truly live the authentic life that you're supposed to? So authenticity for some is a big one because it's like, oh my God, like I feel like for the very first time in my life, I'm going to allow myself, I'm going to give myself permission to truly be authentic now. So that is the positivity in practice workshops. So this is why it is so imperative for people to be a part of this. They're showing up in the PPA, they're in your network, you're having conversations with them. And it's like, listen, I got what you need. What you need is actually to invest in you. You know, you're tired of beating yourself up. You're tired of the excuses. You're tired of not being happy. Well, then it's time to actually take it back and choose you and be happy. And that's what the workshops do, because all of a sudden, for once a week, for 90 minutes, you choose you, and that's it. And you get to do it with like-minded people that are going through exactly what you're going through. And that's why these workshops are not individual, that you're doing it yourself. You're doing it with other people so you don't feel alone. People are going through the same thing. You know, sometimes people cry. Like I know with Christine and Caroline, their group, we would meet on Wednesdays. There was a lot of tears through the 12 weeks. There was tons of tears, and we just all supported each other. And then every group that comes together and goes through 12 weeks like that, all of a sudden have bonds. I mean, my God, Liz and Andrew have the most ridiculous bond. They call each other yin and yang. It's adorable because they have created such a bond with each other because they've gone through this 12 weeks together, because they understand each other and they did it and experienced it together. So that's PIPS, guys. So now it makes it so much easier for you to be like, guys, this is what this is. Like, that is a very long explanation, and maybe the person you're talking to can relate to one workshop. You don't have to go through all of them. But if you go onto the Positivity in Practice workshop, these paragraphs that I just explained, they're all there
on the website.
On the website. If you go to Positivity in Practice, every workshop has that explanation. So it's like, go check it out. You're having a hard time with excuses. You need to finally forgive. You need to whatever. Go check it out. Go see if the rest of them are what you need, because you probably do. If you need forgiveness, you need the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's so true. It makes it easier for you to have these conversations with people. Okay?
What time are they held?
Okay, so they're all at different
guys are all in the UK. So
yeah. Yep, so they're all at different times. So the leaders
Okay.
have their own times. So what you do is you check availability. So it's like, you know, Leanne is teaching on Sundays. You know, some people are teaching Monday evening. Some people are teaching in the afternoon. So they all have different times that people can sign up for. One of the number one questions people are going to ask you is, 12 weeks, that's a big commitment. What if I get sick? What if I have to miss one? Every single Zoom is recorded and sent to them. So not only do they get the workshop material, they then also get the recording if they missed it. Okay? So they can catch up very quickly.
Awesome. Yeah, because obviously my guys in the UK are like, they're not on these calls at the moment because it's our summer school holidays.
Yeah.
So no one's around. In the UK, forget it. You're not going to see anyone over August at all. And the time is a bit digi for them. But what I'm doing is I'm creating my own group for my team so that we can all kind of get the English people.
Yeah.
Because they are so difficult. You know what I mean? They're not very, how can I put it, forthcoming with positivity.
I don't know. What is it? Rom from your group? He's like posting like a madman.
So Ram is actually, he lives in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So I met Ram through some other positivity group. And then I was saying to him, you need to join the PPA. This is like the perfect thing for you. You've got so many people. And then I was speaking to him. He's like, I want to be an ambassador. I'm like, join. But it's like baby steps of him. He's never done network marketing. He's never done anything. So he's like, just like, storms. And I'm like, calm down, man. Seriously, you're doing our heads in. So my group for him as well, so that he can get baby steps.
Yeah. And so that's why we're also recording all of these meetings.
Yeah.
Send them out. So all of you not only get an email, but this recording is shared within the ambassador groups for people to like catch up. You know,
Exactly.
everyone has the opportunity to always watch all of these meetings. So that is the positivity in practice. I have talked a lot. I'm gonna let you do shine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And so we don't have time to do shine.
Oh no, we don't. So we'll leave it at pips and we'll do shine next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one last thing is that we're not monitoring the YouTube videos, and so I know that when you guys watch it, you'll be brought to a YouTube link. But so if you have questions, then I'm going to ask you to pose the questions inside of the ambassador group so that we see.
Yeah.
Because if anybody is asking questions underneath the video, which we're just kind of trained to do, we're not monitoring and going back to look through all of them in order to ensure that we get back to you guys. So if you do have questions, please post them in the ambassador group. Cool?
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Amazing. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? We have another minute or so. Does anyone have any questions? Liz.
It's not a question really. It's more of just a comment that I know a few of us on the call have been going back and forth, which is, and I forget who posted it first or talked about it first, the response of people that, is this a cult? Is this a Christian cult? Yeah. You know, that sounds crazy to me. Like all of that kind of rhetoric around it, even from a really, really close friend of mine who is a very positive person. And the first words out of her mouth was, that sounds like a crazy cult to me. And a lot of people have said to me, is it like a Christian cult? Like what, you know, what? And so, you know, it's almost, and I think I posted that I'm going to do a Facebook Live about, you know, is it a cult or is it just raising consciousness? Like, I found it very surprising to me that so many of us have had that kind of response from people. And
that's totally going to get that response because our world has been trained to be negative. It is acceptable to complain. It's acceptable to be negative, and it is not something that's popular to be positive. It isn't. People are like, oh my God, yeah, positive, whatever. Like, this, you know, my job sucks, my this sucks. Like, how people relate to each other is by complaining. So you're going to get that. Yeah. You are 100%. Are you kidding me? I've had it. Well, way more than any of you guys have, because clearly I've had 2.5 years of people going like, what the hell? I've lost a lot of friends that have just been like, it's just too positive. Like, it's just too much, you know? And I'm like, listen, like, I get it. I'm like, you don't have to be a part of anything I'm doing. If positivity, which by the way is something that is good, if that is too much for you, then that's fine. You can go right ahead and stay in the complaining. So Liz, like I saw that you posted that. I'm glad that you brought it up. I in no way will ever say what this is not, because the moment you tell somebody what this is not, that's all they hear.
Yeah, right.
They hear the not, they just hear the cult. So the positive people army on a regular basis talks about this is a safe, positive space. That's it. Period. For people to share positivity, like-minded people to spread it, to support each other, just to get through this life feeling a little better about it. And that's it. Okay. So like, and believe me, you're going to get it. You're going to get people saying it's a cult. It's like, no, it's actually just positivity. That's it. It's just positivity, nothing behind it.
Maybe it'd be good as well is if you shared Heidi's posts, like her video, then people will see that it's actually just about mindset as well.
That's it.
We used to have to deal with this with my sales company. Yeah. Because this was the sales training that we gave people, like that a huge percentage of it is mindset. Yeah. Right? That's the big void in the market when it comes to how people train sales reps. Too many people focus on tactic, and they don't teach people about how to be a better human, right? And so we would talk to our sales team when they were brand new and let them know that you're probably going to have people in your life start to notice that if you do employ some of these practices where you don't take things as personally and you start to work on yourself, they're going to ask you what's wrong. And the reason that they're doing this for the most part, for the people that are close to you, is because they care or they don't understand it. And people are afraid of what we don't understand. Absolutely. And so for anybody that had a scenario where they're, you know, someone that was really close to them that would say to them, you know, listen, I think that this is just, I'm seeing such a wild change in you and I don't know that you can keep this up. And so I think that it's just, you know, it's kind of like the flavor of the week. And so, you know, we'll wait and see, right? Because I think that there is also a very big audience that is waiting to see when you finally give in to the fact that they were right and you were wrong. And it's not,
You'll hang on forever.
it's totally not possible. And they wait with like marshmallows. You know what I mean? Until they
I was
toast on the
right.
fire.
That
Absolutely.
positivity, that doesn't work.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons for that is because we are examples that expose people to what it is that they are not doing in their lives. And we like to be able to have community that justifies why we don't have that as a successful experience ourselves, right? So you will make people nervous when you are more positive because it brings up their lack of it in their own lives. What we used to say to our teams when we were having a talk about this, because it was a really big issue, is that the people that are telling you that it's not going to exist, they are either right or they're wrong. And if they're right, they're right. And if they're wrong,
They're really wrong.
Yeah, it's so true. Like honestly, it's amazing. And the amount of, and all of a sudden, you know, the friends that just take a back seat and you're like, oh, like, you know, like I noticed you don't like any of my stuff anymore. And it's like, because then if they like it, then they're also showing other people that they're into positivity. And what if their friends don't like that? And it's like I'm always like, wow, like really? You don't want to show people you're positive?
yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Like, let's really think about that for a second.
Uh-huh.
So you have to understand, we are all, my biggest thing, and I mean, I talk about it constantly in the PPA, we're all on our own journey. So it's not about us changing people. It's about us giving them a dialogue and an awareness that if they're ready, they get to shift and change themselves. They get to go on the journey as well. Yeah.
And
So,
and I think part of that is to have enough examples of people that are not going to allow fear to be the biggest voice in the room anymore. There are enough examples of people that are choosing that this really is something that they want to demonstrate as a way that they are choosing to behave. So it gives other people permission to get past their fear and just try it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
I'm gonna give you an example, guys. Of course, I would never bring up the person, but there was this gentleman that is a part of the PPA, and he's been with us for a very long time, and he doesn't comment very often. But when he does, his comments are just a little more on the sarcastic side. So it's not that he's attacking anyone. It's not that they're fully negative. It was just that it was a little sarcastic, on the edge of someone could perceive it as a bad thing. Okay. So my job in the PPA is to continually be aware of what the dynamic that is happening with everyone. Right. So I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? You know, like, so glad you're a part of the PPA. I would just love to have a conversation with you. I've noticed a couple of comments, and although they are not doing anything wrong, you have not attacked anyone, you are not judging anyone, but it's just kind of on the edge. And I would just love to know where your intention is coming from so that we can have a chat about this. Because my job in this space is to protect every PPA member, that this stays safe in this area. So he got back to me. And he didn't in any way like attack or anything, but he was just like, yeah, like, I don't even know like how I'm a part of the PPA, but listen, if you want to block me, block me. And I said, no, I have absolutely no intention of blocking you. I would just love to have a dialogue with you just to make sure that should you wish to stay, I just want to make sure that your comments are coming from a place of positivity and a place of support. And he got back and he's like, yeah, no, I completely understand. Like, you have to protect this space. And like, I get that. So yeah, you can just block me. And I said, I need to let you know, I under no circumstances is blocking you. I'm not blocking you unless you are going to give me a reason for me to do that. So what I'm going to say here is I would love for you to stay. I would love for you to be a part of that, but should you wish to leave, I will also respect that decision, and I will welcome you back if you ever decide to come. And he got back and he was like, hey, Heidi, like, I really appreciate this, and yeah, I'm gonna stay, and I will definitely like behave myself. And he's like, just let me know if I put anything that you know, is not acceptable. Then it gets better, guys. He then went back into his post that he did and changed it to something really positive.
Yay.
And I was just like, wow. See, here is a person that 3 times told me to block him, which means in life, so here he's a part of this incredible space that's just all positive people, and yet he's having a hard time with it. Like, it's probably making him a little uncomfortable. It's making him uncomfortable to put a positive comment. So he's got to make it more sarcastic to make himself feel comfortable. And yet he doesn't really want to leave, yet he just said, yeah, take me out. Because he's, again, uncomfortable that someone is being nice and genuine and just wanting to have a conversation. You know? And so he has stayed, and since then, his comments have been super positive. You know, and it's just like, so this is what's going to happen, guys. There are people that are a part of, even right now, the PPA, that are uncomfortable with positivity. So people that are in your life that do not conduct themselves in a positive way are going to be uncomfortable with you being positive. Okay? That's going to exist. It's going to happen. So don't ever judge. Don't ever attack. Well, then fine, then I'll unfriend you. Listen, you always put it back on them. It is your choice. I, under no circumstances, need you to leave me as a friend, but should you wish, I will respect that. And if you're ready to come back and enjoy the positivity, I'll bring you back. This is who we are, guys. That's the Positive People Army. Okay? So they're all waiting for us to do this. Fight. Because that's what we want. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, listen, I got this positive thing going. Feels good. Yeah. Okay. So I want you guys to remember that conversation, that experience I had with that guy, because there's going to be a lot of them that show up in your life. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Does that make you feel good, Liz? Did that feel good?
Yeah, it did.
I thought you were about to do a little belly dance.
No, it's a Zoom call. No, it does. It's just, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit naive, but to me, if somebody's being upbeat and positive and happy, it's just like, why would you think that was a cult? But I understand now what you're saying. And since everybody else has gone through it, you know, it's a common theme that's running through the thread here. So I thought it was interesting to address it.
You know what I think it is, Liz? I think there's something to do with the initials PPA that's been in the bad news before. There's been some kind of a problem. So when someone has read that story about negativity around those initials that were a cult or part of some kind of a weird group, I had somebody ask me about that too, and I thought, no, this is two totally separate things.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
Maybe that's what's triggered some of that.
What do you mean the PPA?
You have to Google and like go and like.
Yeah, check it out.
What was the other group?
It was, I don't know, something, it was obviously very negative, and someone had read about it and tried to put the two together. This was a long time ago, Heidi. I remember when I first joined the PPA, somebody said something weird like that. But I haven't seen it since. So yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Nor have I had anyone say to me, "Oh my God, is it this?" or whatever. Maybe it's just that it's the 3 letters, because there was the KKK.
Yeah.
3 letters. That was very negative.
Very negative.
And the IRA.
IRA, yes.
Yeah. And also, like, another comment people bring up is the fact that it's an army.
Yeah.
People take very negatively to an army. But guys, if you Google the definition of an army, it is like-minded people that come together with one mission. And also, everything about an army is they support each other. Remember that whole thing? No man is ever left behind.
The Salvation Army.
Exactly. So, like, guys, army, it's just society has said army. It's actually it's the most positive word.
Yes.
I also think it comes down to, it's like, people are scared of change.
Yes.
They don't like people they don't like to see their friends, their loved ones, their family changing, and they can't get their heads around it because you've been this person for so many years. And then all of a sudden this light bulb moments come, and you've all of a sudden we become these positive warriors. And my sister said to me, "You're in a fucking cult." I'm like, "No, no."
See?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I can't
even tell you the amount of times that I've had people say that to me.
I'm like,
I'm
really?
gonna find it. So there's this one
I'm
card where it's like a cartoon, and it's one stick figure cartoon with just like a normal head or whatever, and then it's another like cartoon person, but their head has all like flowers and colors and everything coming out, and the stick figure that has nothing says, "Oh my God, you've changed," and then the one with all the flowers is like, "Yeah, I hope so." You know. Really?
That's the thing,
Would you rather me stay this negative, awful, complaining? I was unhappy. I was depressed. I was whatever, and that's the thing. Misery loves company. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to feel good about your life and have amazing things happen in your life and be successful and feel good and have these perspectives and not put up with their bullshit anymore. Right? Like everyone wants you to continually put up with their bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And they're like, well, you're in a cult. It's like, okay.
I'd rather be in a cult then.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Exactly. Anyway,
Just kill them with kindness.
Kill them with kindness. Exactly. Well, listen, guys, we've gone way over the call because all of it is fantastic. But I'm going to let you go. And of course, we will record this and share it, and we will send it out. What I'm going to do as well is, like I said, I'm going to post the link so you guys can go and check out all of these explanations of all of the pips, so that you have the link so you can share it with other people. And if anyone has any questions in the PPA Ambassador group, let us know.
Can we just say good luck to Liz?
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck, Liz.
I know. Bye, Liz. I'll see you
Bye,
later.
guys.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.